Okay, I'd like to call this regular meeting of the Coralville City Council to order, September 12th, 2017. Roll call.
Councilmember Hoft. Present. Gross.
Here.
Gill.
Present.
Dodds.
Present.
And Goodrich.
Here.
All council members and the mayor are present, as is the city clerk, city attorney, and acting city manager or city administrator. I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda except item number 5.
Well, except for one item.
And deleted number 5.
Delete the domestic violence awareness month item. Yes. They'll be put off till next month. Okay. Moved by Gill, seconded by Grote. Oh, Hoft, I'm sorry. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Negative? Okay. The agenda is approved as amended. We have several honorary and very deserving issues to deal with first tonight. Item number 4 is presentation of the 2017 Award of Excellence from the Iowa Public Employee Labor Relations Association to our fabulous City of Coralville Human Resources Risk Manager, Mike FUNKE. This is a very distinguished award that Mike received in Des Moines last week. I believe Kelly and Ellen went over and participated in that award. And Ellen, would you say a few words, and then we'll bring Mike up and I'll present him the award. If that's
yes,
okay.
Thank you. I'd be happy to. Mike FUNKE, Coralville's Human Resource Risk Manager, is the recipient of the 2017 Award of Excellence from the Iowa Public Employer Labor Relations Association. This award honors an individual who has made an outstanding contribution to the management role in public sector labor relations. Mike is only the second person to receive this award. Mike has held the position of Human Resource Risk Manager with the City of Coralville since April 1993. He is the first and only person to hold this position. His only full-time professional employer has been the City of Coralville. Under Mike's leadership in risk management, the city received the Iowa Municipal Workers' Compensation Association Best Practices Award from 2011 through 2016. And the city's experience modification factor, the adjustment of annual premium based on previous loss experience, has reached 0.77. Mike's department was the first and only department in the city to transition to paperless files over 15 years ago. This has been an important step for confidentiality of employee information while ensuring accessibility. Mike was also an essential part of the city's flood response team in 2008. His detailed knowledge of the city's resources, both human and material, allowed him to manage and allocate staff and vehicles to areas they were most needed. With a radio and a whiteboard in a conference room in City Hall, he coordinated multiple sandbag filling locations, movement of the sandbags to locations they were needed, hauling of the sand and bags, transport of refreshment and tools for volunteers, and all other supply and resource allocation and management, from pumps to hoses, Gatorade to zip ties. Mike is the city's sole representative in negotiations with 3 unions. With a common sense and personable approach, there have been a limited number of grievances in his 24-year tenure. None of the grievances have risen to the level of mediation or arbitration. Congratulations, Mike.
Very good. Mike, would you please come forward? It's a real honor to present this to Mike. He's incredibly deserving. And I oftentimes, it seems like, and I don't know why this is, but people that see us will say, "Good morning, Mike," to me. I can't figure out why they confuse me with Mike. But that's, to me, that's a compliment to me, Mike. So
you guys had the same eyes.
Well, congratulations. This is truly a distinguished award, and you're so valuable to the city. So. Right?
Good.
Okay, thank you very much. Keep up the good work.
Mike,
Congratulations,
I'm curious. You've won the award now, but which is better, the award or the mayor referring to you as fabulous earlier?
From here on out, from here on out, your name will be Fabulous.
Mike Fabulous Funky. I like it. Hey, Mr. Mayor, can I say one thing on this?
Absolutely.
On this, because in my regular job, I serve as co-president of the Teachers Union, and a lot of times I'm on the opposite side of labor management issues, and in this role, I get to be on the opposite side that I'm on my day job, and I am continually impressed by the work you do, Mike, and how fair and considerate you are of our city employees. And, you know, I truly admire that. And, you know, coming from a union guy, I think that you can't get probably a better compliment than that. So well done.
Very good. Thank you. Thanks, Alan. Okay, now I have 3 proclamations this evening. We'll take them in the order that they're listed. The first one is Constitution Week, and I'd like to read it. City of Coralville Proclamation. Whereas September 17th, 2017 marks the 230th anniversary of the drafting of the Constitution of the United States of America by the Constitutional Convention. And whereas it is fitting and proper to officially recognize this magnificent document in the anniversary of its creation. And whereas it is fitting and proper to officially recognize the patriotic celebrations which will commemorate the occasion. And whereas Public Law 915 guarantees the issuing of a proclamation by the President of the United States of America designating September 17th through the 23rd as Constitution Week. Now therefore, I, Mayor John A. Lundell, do hereby proclaim the week of September 17th to the 23rd, 2017, to be Constitution Week, and urge all citizens to study the Constitution and express gratitude for the privilege of being an American in a republic which functions under the oldest Constitution in active use today. In witness whereof, I hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the city of Coralville to be affixed on this 12th day of September in the year of our Lord 2017. I will sign it. I'd like Marcia Huckey to come up, please, and receive this. And I think I'm going to step around too because you asked to have a photo taken. Marcia, thanks for working with us on this and receiving it. Okay. And if you'd like to say a few words at the microphone.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mayor, and the members of the City Council and the community of Coralville. On behalf of the Nathaniel Fellows Chapter, Daughters of the American Revolution, I just appreciate their cooperation in letting us have this proclamation. And we have a display in the lobby of the City Hall, and we have all kinds of free material out there. I've made a little displays for the people in the TV audience, and please help yourself. It'll be up till about the end of the month. And so please make your way down to City Hall and get information on the flag and the American's Creed and the Pledge of Allegiance and a variety of items. So we appreciate your help, and thank you very much.
Great. Thank you for coming out, Marcia. Okay. My second proclamation is Food Rescue Week with Table to Table. Whereas Table to Table began in April 1996 and since then has distributed 17 million pounds of food, 14 million meals in Johnson County. And whereas Table to Table collects from over 50 donation sites and delivers to 43 agency sites in Iowa City at no fee for services. And whereas Table to Table distributes a total of 214,000 pounds of food, which provides 178,000 meals from those pounds in a year to Coralville residents each year. And whereas Table to Table makes a monetary impact to recipient agencies of $4.23 million and a total monetary impact to the community, agencies and those they serve, of $8.46 million. And whereas there are only 4 paid staff members and over 240 dedicated volunteers that deliver 40 food rescue routes every week to continue the work of Table to Table. Now therefore, I, Mayor John A. Lundell, do hereby proclaim the week of September 24th to the 30th, 2017, to be Food Rescue Week with Table to Table, and urge all community members to join in supporting this worthwhile and productive endeavor. Signed this 12th day of September, 2017. And we have Emily Meister, I believe, here to receive this. Emily, thanks so much for coming out tonight. Congratulations. It's my pleasure to offer this proclamation. Great. I'd be glad to have you say a few words.
Okay, thank you. My name is Emily. I'm with Table to Table tonight. Thank you for having us and for recognizing the week of the September 24th as Food Rescue Awareness Week. We've been working in the Johnson County area for 21 years now. I'm one of the 4 paid staff members there and working with at least 100, 120 volunteers each week to make up a pretty big volunteer force over the year. And we just thank you for kind of putting it in the public eye, the issues of food waste and in food insecurity in Johnson County, and so that we can continue the work we do. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you. Great organization. Okay. Now we're going to get a little bit silly here. Item number 6. Always fun when this time of year comes around. And it's my honor to proclaim the renaming of Coralville to Playville for the PLAYVOLUTION from September 11th to the 29th, 2017. This has very small print, and I have to put on my glasses. Whereas a play deficit exists in our society, a very real decline in unstructured play, which has critical implications for the health of our community. And whereas children's media usage has soared in the past 2 decades, with the average American child engaging in 7 hours and 38 minutes of media use each day. And whereas play is critical to children's health, healthy brain development, and building active, healthy bodies. And whereas play allows children to use their creativity while developing their imagination, dexterity, and physical, cognitive, and emotional strength. And whereas unstructured play allows children to learn how to play in groups, to share, to negotiate, to resolve conflicts, and to learn self-advocacy skills. And whereas play helps children develop new competencies that lead to enhanced confidence and the resilience they will need to face future challenges. And whereas play is just as important for adults, especially in the workplace and council chambers. I added that. Keeping one functional under stress, refreshing the mind and body, triggering creativity and innovation, increasing energy, and helping prevent burnout. And whereas play is so important to optimal child development that the United Nations High Commission for Human Rights has recognized it as a right of every child. And whereas, above all, play is a simple joy that is a cherished part of childhood. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, John A. Lundell, Mayor of the City of Coralville, proclaim the City of Coralville will be renamed Playville from September 17th to the 29th, 2017, as we celebrate PLAYVOLUTION. Further, I encourage all residents of all ages to support and promote the idea that unstructured, unplugged, unlimited play is a critical component of healthy development for the community members of Coralville. Signed and sealed this 12th day of September, 2017. Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Hold on to it. Thank you.
Oh, I see. Can I hit someone with it? Okay.
I got it.
Hey, thank you, Sarah. Oh, got hold that. Oh, I see. Gotcha.
Gil, you're looking right next to you.
Until we tell you there's a signal, right?
Okay.
Ready?
When we get done with the cheer and we say, let the PLAYVOLUTION begin, release your balloon. Okay?
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Imagine, create, discover, explore. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let the PLAYVOLUTION begin!
Wow, that's good.
I was the last one standing.
Thank you, Deb. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sarah.
That's how we should have had elections.
Last one down.
Gil, you won.
That's awesome.
Mayor, were you going to introduce who did this? It would be fun for people
Sure, the Sarah.
Cooperation of,
We should,
the
when
library.
you get done, we should grab
Well,
a picture.
Deb Duncase is going to, on behalf of the Children's Museum, is going to speak. So.
Do
Let's
it.
grab a picture. 'cause
A
we-
photo? Sure. Sure.
You want me in it?
You need to blow
Okay.
your balloons up again.
It's all about fun.
You just leave them all in Kelly's chair and you get back. What's in there?
Potatoes.
Oh.
Thank you.
You can come back now, Jill.
We just want to say thank you so much to the City of Coralville's Mayor Lendell and to the entire City Council. We are really proud that this is our third year doing the PLAYVOLUTION, and as do many things, it all started in Coralville. We have now expanded this year, so we are doing other activities throughout Johnson County. Everything is listed on our playvolution.org website. All of the activities are free. It kicks off Saturday with the Farmers Market in Iowa City. Sunday is Move It, Dig It, Do It at the Iowa Children's Museum. Moving on to Monday, there are PLAYVOLUTION activities at the Coralville Library. Preschools and retirement centers throughout the week are celebrating Bubbleology. We're also celebrating the 50th anniversary of Morrison Park, and it all winds up with a celebration of a free meal provided, a free community meal provided by the food pantry. So lots and lots going on. Be sure to come and join us. As you said in your proclamation, Mayor Lendell, play is so essential to the health and happiness of kids of all ages. So thank you. We'll be back again next year.
Do you want to introduce your cohorts here?
Yes. So this is actually a project that's been developed with the core people for several years. Susan Gray is from 4Cs, Coordinated Community Childcare, and Sarah Glenn is from the Coralville Public Library. You all know Councilmember Jill Dodds with Simple Abundance. We've also been working with the Iowa City Parks and Rec and Coralville Parks and Rec. Lots of community members involved in this. Thank you again.
Good. Thank you.
And you all have some Play-Doh to take home.
All right.
So that you can remember to play.
Glad you pointed that out. Mitch was going to eat it.
It is non-toxic, of course.
Of course.
Thank you all.
Okay, well, that's the best part of the meeting, but we'll carry on. Citizen comments. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak to us?
Good evening. My name is Keith Jones, and I'm here tonight for the Coralville Food Pantry. But before I talk about the food pantry, I want to thank the mayor and the council. I've always felt that Coralville is the best place in the world to live, work, and play. So naming Coralville Playville makes a whole lot of sense to me. So thank you.
Is that going to mess things up at the bank, though? Or?
So as I said, I'm here for the Coralville Food Pantry tonight, and I just want to thank the council for their continued support of the pantry. We couldn't be more pleased with the location we're in, and we know it's not a long-term solution for us, but the impact of the visibility and the accessibility has been great, and things are going very well. And that's evidenced by the statistics for August. I'd like to share those real briefly. We had 840 family visits. We had 333 total families. We served 1,107 individuals, and the impressive number to me, we distributed 22,595 pounds of food in August, and that summer tends to be a little slow, especially July, but that's up considerably from our July numbers, so we're very pleased with the way that our numbers were in August. Two other things quickly. Just wanted to let everybody know that the Coralville Community Food Pantry has been accepted as a United Way agency, and so we will be participating in their grant process now, which we're excited about. And then the final thing, in June, as you probably remember, we did a community meal in partnership with the Coralville Library. It was a huge success. We had a beautiful Friday night, and we had about 400 people turn out. We're going to do another community meal, a fall community meal, on September 29th, again in partnership with the library. They've been so great to work with. And so that'll be a taco night. And the nice thing about the library, if the weather doesn't cooperate, we have inside space. So mark your calendars. September 29th is our next community meal, and we're hoping for 600 to 700 people this time. So we'll see.
Great.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Keith,
Thank you,
for all
Keith.
your work with the pantry.
Anyone else like to speak to us tonight? Seeing none, we'll move on to item 8, which is the 808 on Fifth Street Addition, Third Edition. Say that a few times. Start with the Building and Zoning Report and Planning and Zoning Report from Building Official Jim Kessler.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. 808 Fifth Edition, as you should all know by now, everybody probably does know by now, is down on Fifth Street where the 808 building is, the 708 building, and around the corner is 424 6th Avenue building. What you're seeing up on the screen now, which I hope you are, is the preliminary plat for this third edition. This has been kind of an ever-evolving platting process. First, we had all of these 3 buildings we're looking at, one on this lot, which is 808, 708, and then the future 758 building, were all on one lot, and then they replatted it onto 3 different lots. And now what we've got is these buildings on 2 lots. So let me get back here to the final plat, which is a lot easier to see what's going on. It doesn't have so much on it. But anyhow, what has happened is the third building that's under construction right now is in the back of these. And originally it was going to try to be on its own individual lot. That wasn't possible zoning-wise because it didn't actually have any access onto Fifth Street. The only access it had was this kind of 35-foot private street going back here. So they couldn't put it on its own lot. So they decided to combine it with lot number 2 and have 708 and 758 on the same lot. This is a possibility because this whole thing is under the broad zoning district of a CPUD. So what we're looking at now is the final platting of the process to where we have lot number 1 here, which is the 808 building. Lot number 2 up against Fifth Street is the 708 building, and then in the back is the third building, the 758 building, which is on the same lot as lot 2, and the legal frontage and to make this a lot is lot 2 along Fifth Street. So this was looked at P&Z the other night, and both preliminary and the final plats were recommended for approval by a 7-0 vote.
Thank you, Jim. Well, let's consider the resolution on the preliminary plat.
Resolution approving the revised preliminary plat for 808 on 5th edition, 3rd edition, Coralville, Iowa, is introduced for adoption by Councilmember Hof, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Gross. Discussion? Roll call.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Holt.
Aye.
Resolution passes all ayes. The next item, item D, is the resolution approving the final plat.
Resolution approving the revised final plat for the 808 on 5th edition, 3rd edition, Coralville, Iowa, is introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gross, seconded by.
Second.
Close, but we'll give that one to Gil tonight. Discussion? Roll call.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Holt.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Okay, item 9 is a county subdivision, Johnson County subdivision, and again, the building and P&Z report, please.
Thank you again, Mr. Mayor. Before I put up the plat, I want to just kind of put up the Johnson County GIS system to kind of show you where this is. Because the platting itself, whoops, I'm sorry. The platting itself is kind of, oops, I guess I'm sorry, I deleted that, so I guess we won't see it. But anyhow, so let me go to the platting process then. So what I was trying to show you was where this was in Coralville, and I can describe it to you. This is 340th Street. To the very west of this subdivision is our adult softball complex, and then to the east of this, it is bordered by Deer Creek Road. And the reason I wanted to put up the PIV for you is that you're really not seeing 2 lots of this subdivision that are actually over in this area right here that are already platted. So we already have a lot here platted, this lot is platted, and we have lots back here platted. So what we're looking at now is the far western part of the county subdivision that has not been platted at this point in time. And this is a county subdivision, and in the county they do preliminary and final plats on one sheet of paper. They don't have the individual. So you're looking at both the preliminary and the final plat here. So this is Deer Creek Road, and this is lot number 1. Lot number 1 is about a 2.5 acre parcel, and then we have lot number 2, which is also about a 2 acre parcel. And this is an industrial subdivision in the county, so these lots will develop as an industrial development. The one thing that we have asked the county and told the county that we would recommend to P&Z and then recommend on to council that we would approve the subdivision provided we didn't have this access onto 340th Street. We have one access here, which is Klein Road, and then that comes in, intersects with Charbon Road, and then that would be the access and egress for these two lots. But the city did not want another access on 340th. It's not exactly an improved street. So they have agreed to that, and the final plat that we will see will not have any semblance of an access onto 340th Street. They will either have to access Klein Road or Charbon Road off of Deer Creek Road.
And does that address the issue that we've had with this previous time I'm mixing things up? Were we having with truck access on?
Yes. Well, we'd have access with truck access on 340th Street, yes. So that's why we're limiting access.
Okay.
So this is in our 2-mile jurisdiction, which is signified by our agreement with the county. So that's why as the city of Iowa City, we have to approve it and recommend it to them. So the P&Z at their meeting recommended that the preliminary and final plat be approved by the council to be passed on to Johnson County by a 7-0 vote.
Okay, thank you, Jim. Let's consider the resolution.
Resolution approving the preliminary and final plats of River Products Industrial Park Subdivision Part 2, Johnson County, Iowa, is introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gill, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Dodge. Discussion.
Jim, as I remember, I'm sorry, I was in the meeting with Newsiel and the county attorney when this was brought about. Was there any discussion about paving that street up to their access?
I think it's paved. Isn't it paved to the access they have now?
It is paved to Klein right here.
Okay, so basically this is just a continuation of the industrial area that we had talked about. Okay.
And I think the reason we didn't want this access, I mean, if they were going to give us this access, then we would want that would want the road improved up to that access as well.
Yeah.
Which they
Sounds good.
think are choosing, they'd rather not do. So.
Okay. Good. Any other questions or discussion? Roll call.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Hope.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Item 10, Oakdale Boulevard Bridge Repair over Muddy Creek Project. And looks like our city engineer, Dan Holderness, is going to give us a quotation report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This project is for the repair of the underneath side of the Oakdale Boulevard Bridge over Muddy Creek. We received one quotation for this work. It was from Peterson Contractors, Inc. of Rhinebeck in the amount of $35,612. And so we would recommend award of that contract to PCI for that amount.
Okay. Resolution.
Resolution accepting quotation and awarding a contract for the traffic signal poles for the Oakdale Boulevard Bridge repair over Muddy Creek is introduced for adoption. Councilmember Dodds, seconded by.
Should we ask for clarification on that?
I think that was
There's a mistake on that resolution.
I don't think we're putting signals on the bridge over Muddy Creek.
Shouldn't be any lights there, I don't think. Traffic signals. We snuck in the turn
Sounded
lane.
good to me.
Me too.
What's the correction?
That's it. So it's just for the Oakdale Boulevard Bridge repair over Muddy Creek without the traffic pole. Sorry.
Okay.
What he meant to say.
Okay.
Yep.
You want to read it again, or?
Can.
Okay, why don't you just...
Resolution accepting quotation and awarding contract for the Oakdale Boulevard Bridge repair over Muddy Creek. Introduced for adoption again by Councilmember Dodds, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Goodrich. Discussion? Dan, I assume that's a reasonable quote, even though we just received one.
Yes, we've reviewed that. We do think it's a reasonable number. And PCI is a good contractor, so we're confident that they'll do the work properly.
Good, thanks. Roll call?
Goodrich.
Aye.
Hope.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Item 11 is 107 East 7th Street and 703 East 2nd Avenue demolition.
Yeah, this is the demolition. This is the building that the Shamrock Construction Company was in on the corner of East 2nd and East 7th Street. All the tenants and Shamrock have vacated. The asbestos was removed, completed today. So if you haven't been down to look at East 2nd Avenue, go up on 9th Street and pull over the thing and see how many buildings the demolition's been going fast and furious. So,
Has it?
So it looks a little different now. So we did receive one quotation for this in the amount of $31,000 even from CAJ Enterprises, and would recommend the award to CAJ Enterprises between them and PCI, who obviously bid on Dan's project and not mine. So CAJ and PCI are the two contractors that I think that this will be 2 or 3 buildings each so half and half. So they've got them down even faster. So recommend award to CAJ in the amount of $31,000.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. Resolution?
Resolution accepting quotation and awarding a contract for the demolition agreement for 107 East 7th Street and 703 East 2nd Avenue, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Goodrich, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Hoft. Any discussion? Roll call.
Hoft.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Item 12 is street lighting contract amendment. This is amendment for the replacement of high-pressure sodium streetlights with LED streetlights.
Resolution approving an amendment to the street lighting contract with Lynn County Rural Electric Cooperative Association, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Hof, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Gill. Discussion?
They look fabulous.
And they're cheaper.
Yeah.
They're cheaper.
Okay, roll call.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Hoft.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Item 14 is the Governor's Traffic Safety Contract. This is an annual highway safety grant, in this year in the amount of $27,500 to
Mayor.
cover overtime hours of high-visibility traffic enforcement and training, related travel, and traffic education materials, along with 2 in-car cameras for our police department.
We had
Yeah, we skipped
number
number
13 we need to do.
Oh, did all that and then, sorry. I heard you say something over there, but, oh, well, you get to hear it twice.
All right.
We need to do a First Street cleanup project first. This is a project management, which includes regulatory coordination regarding disposal of contaminated soil and surface water on the First Street right-of-way associated with the stormwater pump stations 8 and 9. This project is expected not to exceed $25,000.
Resolution approving an engineering services agreement with HR Green Inc. for the First Avenue cleanup project, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gross, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Dodds. Discussion.
Just,
Roll.
it's First Street?
Yeah,
Is that-
it's the one behind the Iowa land.
South
It's back
of
by-
Highway 6.
It's back by the junkyard, for lack
Thank
of a
you.
better term.
Roll call.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Hoft.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Okay, resolution is approved, all ayes. And as you just heard me say, item 14 is a resolution approving the annual highway safety grant for overtime hours of traffic enforcement and training and related travel and educational materials and 2 in-car cameras for our police department.
Resolution approving an agreement with the Governor's Traffic Safety Bureau for police traffic services, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gill, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Hoft. Discussion. Roll call.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Hoft.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Item 15 is 2 items, both related to the Iowa Arena and Performance Center project. Item A is a resolution that supports a grant application to the Enhance Iowa program by ArenaCo for the field house and turf and museum portions of the Iowa Arena and Performance Center project. Resolution?
Resolution of support for the application to the Enhance Iowa program for funding in connection with the development and creation of the ArenaCo Fieldhouse, Turf, and Museum, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Dodds, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Gross. Discussion. Roll call.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Hoft.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Item B is a resolution for a commitment letter that defines the basic terms and conditions under which the Iowa Community Development LC will proceed with dedicating a portion of its new markets tax credit allocation to the Iowa Arena and Performance Center project. And I'll just summarize that this is a, basically, it's a program that is, provides financing that's tied to job creation, which of course this project will certainly do. And by having the new market tax credit, it gives this financing authority to provide financing for a portion of the project, which in return refunds us approximately $4 million in cash to put back into the project. So it's a financing mechanism that's used in many projects tied to job creation, basically is what it is. Resolution?
Resolution approving a commitment letter with Iowa Community Development LC for the allocation of new markets tax credits, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Goodrich, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Gill. Discussion.
This is quite a deal. I mean, this is another step to the arena, and we're very proud of the staff and how hard they've been working on this. We don't see them moving along, but they are moving along very well.
Yeah, I would second that, Tom, and not only the staff, but Josh Schamberger with the Convention and Visitors Bureau has been an important partner in this whole project, too. So I'd like to thank him.
Maybe since Josh dressed up for us, he might want to address us.
Yeah.
He's been working on another very important project, so.
Only if you wish.
If you want.
Okay, yes. Josh will be, that first grant application, he will be presenting that to the board tomorrow in Des Moines, so I wish you luck.
Great.
Okay, moving on, item 16 is Lot 2, Iowa River Landing, Part 2. This is, yeah, roll call.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hoft.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Now, resolution's approved, all ayes. Okay, that Playville just got me all confused.
You want me to do the balloons again, Mayor?
Yeah. Lot 2, Iowa River Landing, Part 2. This is a resolution for a lot that's just to the north of the Scratch Cupcakery in the IRL. And this is for disposing of that land to the Watts Group IRL. And this action tonight is setting a public hearing on October 24th for alternate proposals to with alternate proposals due by 10 a.m. on October 23rd.
Resolution of intent to dispose of an interest in real property and enter into a development agreement with Watts Group IRL LLC for Lot 2, Iowa River Landing, Part 2, Coralville, Iowa, is introduced for adoption by Councilmember Hof, seconded by.
Second.
Second by Goodrich. Discussion?
Yeah, this will be, if you need a better location for it, it's where the chicken is right now, so probably easier one to do that. But this will be a 4-story building. It will have retail on the first floor, office on the second floor, and residential on the top 2 floors. So it'll be a little different setup than some of the other buildings we have in there right now. So the office space is an addition that we were looking for.
Yes. It's amazing how the available lots are going pretty quickly now in the River Landing. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Hoft.
Aye.
Resolution's approved, all ayes. Item 17, I'd consider a motion to approve the consent calendar as presented or amended.
Move to approve the consent calendar, items A through QQ inclusive.
Second.
Moved by Gill, seconded by Hof. Discussion? Roll call.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Hoft.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Consent calendar is approved, all ayes. Item 18 is City Administrator's Report. Ellen, what do you have for us tonight?
First, rest assured, we are looking for a new home for the chicken. She won't go far, but we will find a new home within the next couple months. And also just a reminder, you've got 50 minutes to vote yet here at City Hall. By any account we've seen, it's been a very good turnout, and happy to see that, happy that people take the opportunity to vote. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Ellen. Mayor's report. Since our last meeting, we had a very successful Fry Fest once again in our community, and I just want to thank the many, many volunteers for coming out and helping with that, and businesses that sponsor and support the festivals such as that. I've heard comments that it was the best one ever, so I'll go along with that. It's great, and winning the game sure helps at the end. So. The only other item I have, I was going to mention school election, but Ellen did that already. So the only other, I just want to express get well wishes to Bill Boyd. Bill is our asset manager that works for the city for the Marriott Hotel project, and he suffered an injury with his horses this past weekend. He's a patient in university hospitals. He's doing better, and to the point where there's a chance he may even be able to be discharged here in the next day or so. But he's a little sore, I think, right now. So we wish Bill well. City Attorney's report.
If I may, I could bore you for a moment. At Fry Fest, I enjoyed, again, this time I had my granddaughter and great-granddaughter accompanied Shirley and I through the thing, and she's a cutie at 3 years old, and all this and that, and I was telling people who commented about her being so cute, and I said, yes, she gets her good looks from me, and finally, Lynn Snyder heard that enough. She said, yes, it must be true because her mother still has her good looks. I have nothing else.
I have nothing.
Nothing? Okay, thank you. Committee and council members report. We'll start with you, Tom.
Okay, well,
change it up.
Since I'm on the CVB committee, but since I got the chairman here, he could get up here and talk about Jingle Cross. Since he's been working all day on Jingle Cross, I think that we need to have a plug for Jingle Cross.
Well, I'll start by saying thanks to the whole city, and I should have got up here at the beginning to thank everybody for Fry Fest. You know, I'm so tired right now that I don't even think of, just look at what's tomorrow's events. But Fry Fest was just an awesome year all the way around. Weather was perfect. The fireworks at the end. Coralville Fire really helps us out there. So it was a great event, and I won't announce the number tonight because I'll leave that for Terry and the city and our thank you party, which is going to be in a couple weeks. But you know, the city's going to get a nice big check for Coralville Fire Fourth Fest Fireworks Fund out of Fry Fest this year. So it's a great deal all the way around. I am dressed pretty crappy because I've been out working at the fairgrounds. We have the Jingle Cross coming back this weekend, the World Cup. This is really the biggest stage in the world for this sport of cyclocross. There are, I believe that's 8, if I look at my shirt upside down, these are the cities in the world that host the World Cup. That's not Waterloo, Iowa. Everybody asks that question. That's Waterloo, Wisconsin, which is the home of Trek, which is the second World Cup course a week from Sunday. The first World Cup in this year's circuit is this Sunday in Iowa City at the Johnson County Fairgrounds. And so Coralville plays a big part in it. We have the community showcase stage, which all the announcers use. So we have French, Flemish, German, Italian, American announcers that set up there and call the race. It's broadcast live to over 10 million people in the world. And because we moved it to a Sunday instead of Saturday, it's going to be shown prime time across all of Europe. So it's a big deal, a really big deal. And it's exciting, but it's a ton of work. So all day Friday, all day Saturday are amateur races, Friday night, Saturday night, and then the World Cup is Sunday. I believe we'll have about 65 women and probably about 80 men that'll be here. So a lot of the teams flew in today. There's a huge Belgium team that checked into their hotel today. So big deal. Come on out. Thank you.
I'd just like to thank Josh for all the hard work he does. You know, he's been working on this a long time, and he was even in Belgium with setting this thing up when they were having all those terrorist times.
Yeah, my wife was not happy that we submitted our bid about 7 days after Paris attacks, and we were in Belgium when they shut down transportation and the tanks started rolling in. So that was not a good, but hey, we won the bid. So that's all that
Thank you, Josh, for everything you do.
Take one for the team there, Josh.
Anything else, Tom?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, we're going to flip-flop back and forth. Mitch.
So that could be the new CVB slogan, even ISIS won't stop us. No, I just want to say one quick thing, Mayor. On Friday, Senator Bob Dvorsky announced he was not going to be seeking re-election. I just want to give Senator Dvorsky a huge shout out. I can't think of anyone who's done more for our city than he has. He obviously started on the Coralville City Council and has just been a tremendous, tremendous asset for our city, for the people who live in this community, and has been just a great advocate for Coralville in Des Moines, and you know, personally has been a great friend and mentor to me. And I just want to say thank you, Senator Dvorsky, for your service. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. That's a good call. Jill.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to mention that I attended Charlotte's Web at the Center for the Performing Arts this weekend, and I just have to comment on how great our Young Footlighters group is and the plays that they put on. They really worked hard, and they did a fabulous job. It was fun. And then just to reiterate, to make sure that everybody participates in unstructured, unplugged, unlimited play.
Great.
Thanks.
Very important. Thank you. Bill.
Thank you, Mayor. One thing, tying in with the Playville and the cyclocross, I've caught a bit of the bug. I posted on Facebook. I've been out to the course a few times. It's awesome. I really do enjoy doing it. It's a great workout and a lot of fun out there. Be careful, though. My brain reminded my 50-year-old body that when I was going down a hill and hit a bump, that I need to slow down sometimes, and I went over my handlebars and cracked a rib and banged up my shoulder. So I'm on hiatus for a little bit, but I can't wait to get back out there. So I'm very excited about the Jingle Cross as well. I was going to go last year and didn't, so I'm excited about seeing it this year. And that's all I have. Thanks.
Wow.
We have your waiver on file at least.
Yeah. You were the first call I was going to make, actually.
Last but certainly not least, Lori.
It's my turn. This has been a fun meeting. Just wanted to say our thoughts and prayers are with the people from Houston and Florida, and it's near and dear to our heart, this flooding disaster stuff. And all this week I've just thought again how grateful I am to Coralville, to the staff, to the council at that time for taking care of things as quickly as you did, and just really appreciate all of you. And I look forward to now for our work session, getting to tour the fire station and climbing up on the new ladder truck. Thank you.
Once again, I need your waiver.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lori.
Mayor, if I just may follow up on Mitch, Senator Dvorsky was instrumental in a lot of things here, but he was instrumental in the shovel ready when we had the flood protection, and Bob and Dave Jacoby were instrumental in getting that $60 million for the initial flood walls for our river. So thank you, Bob, for all your help.
Very good. Okay, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Gill, seconded by Hope. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you.